honourable member for Lac Ste and Anne-Parkland has the call.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, the leader of the separatist bloc Quebecois attacked our energy industry, saying that he thinks that, quote, tar sands are condemned, and further saying, quote, putting any more money in that business is a very bad idea. Can the Premier perhaps inform this House and hopefully Mr. Blanchette how Quebecers benefit from Canadian energy?
Sure, the Premier is about to make this about government policy.
Mr. Speaker, the policy of the Government of Alberta is to defend our energy industry, including from attacks from, frankly, people who are ungrateful about what our energy workers have done to spread prosperity across the country. Quebecers receive $13 billion in equalization every year, and disproportionately that comes from the hard work of women and men in this province in Canada's largest industry that creates 500,000 jobs directly and indirectly across the country, including for Quebecers, including for tens of thousands of Quebecers who have come here to enjoy opportunity here in Alberta.
The honourable member for Lac Ste and Parkland.
Given that following Mr. Blanchette's initial comments, he took an attack on Alberta to a national broadcast by the CBC, and given that he dismissed the national importance of our energy industry, suggesting that Western Canadians should thank Quebec for buying oil, and given that he complained about not getting a special price on oil purchased from Alberta and that Quebecers can get their oil from anywhere. Can the Premier please reiterate for those listening around the country why we need more Canadian oil and gas, and why it would be detrimental for Quebec to buy more oil from OPEC and Saudi Arabia?
The Honourable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, the leader of the Bloc Québécois seems to be obsessed with attacking the people of Alberta for having generated an enormous amount of wealth that we have shared willingly with our fellow Canadians, and particularly with our fellow Canadians in the province of Quebec. You know, Mr. Speaker, it is so discouraging to hear somebody complain that they don't get a special price. Well, I'll tell you, the government of Quebec has received tens and tens of billions of dollars from the wealth generated from the energy sector in this province, and we will, at every opportunity, remind our fellow Canadians of that.
The honourable member for Lac Ste and Parkland.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that I know many Quebecers disagree with Mr. Blanchette's anti-oil and gas position, indeed want to help Albertans through these economic times, could the Premier please correct the misinformation from Mr. Blanchette's in French so that our friends in Quebec have the full information?
The Honourable the Premier.
Monsieur le Président, les Albertains sont tannés avec ces attaques, ce Alberta bashing que nous voyons de M. Blanchette. Monsieur le Président, il a dit que les Albertains envoient des insultes vers les Québécois. Au contraire, nous envoyons dizaines de milliards de dollars dans les paiements de péréquation, et dernièrement, nous avons envoyé millions de masques, de gants et même des ventilateurs aux Québécois, nos amis québécois.